In the battle over the continuing resolution and the compromise that eventuated, beneath all the controversy, there are some very significant signs that Senate Democrats have learned the lesson from the 2014 election and are beginning to distance themselves from Obama's agenda, in fact, outright scuttling some very important aspects of it. These weren't widely reported in the media, so let me discuss them. Hillary pledged that the U.S. would contribute $3 billion to a $10 billion climate fund that the UN was setting up. We talked about that in a previous video. And the goal of this essentially was to take foreign aid away from the U.S. Congress, give it to the UN, and then let them make the decision as to who gets it, allegedly to compensate countries for cutting their carbon emissions, underdeveloped countries. Now, the U.S. Congress, in the continuing resolution, refused to appropriate the $3 billion that Hillary pledged. Very important signal. They cut $400 million from the IRS budget, which is not enormous, but certainly interesting and significant. One of the few agencies to really get cut. They took a rule that the EPA is about to implement by executive order that said that the Clean Water Act, which until now has been used to police pollution in the ocean and in major rivers and major lakes, could now be used to police it in ponds and streams, even if they're entirely on private property. Eileen and I wrote about this in our book, Power Grab. Well, the continuing resolution takes that to heart and overrode that and prohibited the EPA from enacting such an order. They also scuttled a lot of Michelle Obama's crazy rules for school lunches. They included a provision that said that if the Palestinian Authority pursues its application for admission to the UN and gets admitted to the UN, that we will cut off all $600 million a year of aid that we give to the Palestinian Authority. Why we don't cut it off anyway is another question. And of particular interest to my wife Eileen, they continued the ban of light bulbs. Congress has been trying to, the president's been trying to force us to use these new squiggly light bulbs that don't give off any light but are supposed to be good for the environment. And Congress is now banning the administration from forcing that down our throats and from taking the regular light bulbs off the shelves. There are two areas in which it really fell short. One we've covered in another video and we'll talk about again. They provided a mechanism whereby pensions to existing pension holders could be cut. That's a brand new step and a very dangerous step in taking away people's pensions. And on the Veterans Administration, they gave it all kinds of new money to help provide care for vets, but they did not do what they have to do, which is to provide a competitive system through Medicare so that the VA doesn't have a monopoly. But it's pretty good signs of progress, bipartisan progress. Senate Democrats willing to vote against the president. And he can't veto it because it's the whole budget. Thanks for watching.